All right, folks. I mentioned the blackmail scheme and Epstein being related to spies, and we got all that being talked about on the news right now. And that Antarctic treaty that the 12 countries signed, that America is part of, is where it's all going the wrong way. So this is where we've been taught this, that, and the other in certain spectrums of our society. And it's being abused, and this is where it's corrupted, and it needs to be taken back. And we see births of the new heaven and earth starting in different ways. Goats eating the grass, them moving the goats around the areas instead of mowing is one way. The mothership is another way, as far as we're being shown out there in the stars. And then we're showing China is now part of the Star Wars fleet that they're unveiling, this super mothership aircraft carrier thing. And then you have the mothership now ordering online, and she has her groceries shipped to her house. So this is where the outside of the grocery store, in a way, should never be in the store. That's your local community. That's your socialization. Okay. The inside of the store, the box, the that's like the alien world coming down and transforming the people. The people have got that ultra processing means you got to run that ultra marathon every day to burn them calories to take off that energy or whatever. That's where they're getting a free pass through this Ozempic, but they're being twisted and turned through this tornado in one way, but they're about to land on the streets of gold, and they're being shown also it's anyway, not to get on that. So this is where we see a birth of different things. And in the next 20 years, we can see this open up and this close. And the HOAs are like this communistic bullshit HOA we got going on now needs to be changed to where you got to have your fruit trees planting. You got to have a garden box in the front yard that everybody can eat from and whatever else, because it gives these kids something to do. They can do their AI learning and AI school at home. A few hours a day of the actual bullshit, and then actually go out and get socialized by playing with their friends and figuring out who has a natural authority and natural leadership and natural whatever thing, and creating a whole new natural hive and a mound and whatever else. As to technology, the queen bee is giving the wings for these kids to fly up and learn what they do in India and Africa and whatever else, and see how these kids are really eating, or see how these people are really fucking putting their feet in the thing or whatever else. And you may not want to go to those fucking restaurants in the future and put all these things together that you're being shown. Okay? You might be going to a buffet and eating week-old fucking food. Who fucking knows? But that's also why it's good, because, you know, like, your leftovers get better in time and whatever else. It's just like are you getting sick? You know? Yeah, you are. So maybe you need to go eat a fucking carrot. There was a time where all I did was have a 25-pound bag of carrots in my fridge. So with AI coming, and the AI doctor that we're showing this week giving birth on this app, and then the Trump TRX, the T-Rex coming for the Ice Age and leading the little baby dinos into the valley for the new heaven and earth and those types of things. So this is where all these lights, the motion picture Given Life, the devil's music, the devil's lettuce, all these different things, the who, the hospital, the pedicures, all those types of things are all coming together. And the island of Patmos, that's that Revelation time frame. Donald John Trump, you have Little John and King John coming together for your Robin Hood, your Robinetta, and all those little things where you can see this little blackmail mechanism and this things that's been taking over in our country, and these people coming in, this, that, and the other, and us doing this little subversion. But it's not necessarily all the subversion is bad or good or whatever. It's that we're gonna, all these, the consciousness is kind of open now, and so we're going to take it now that it's open and gather. But this is where it's been kind of already pre-programmed, where that's going to be gathered already, and then going to go there. That's where you have your 80-20 rule, and this is going to go. Okay, so then the 80 kind of peters out eventually as these waves and ripples and waters and stuff collide. The Trump TRX, the crypto man with the pitcher of water, Jesus tells you to follow. All these things are going into that promised land. And then your promised day, or whatever it's called, is actually on 2/11, and your 2/7, 2/8, 2/9. These days with the Super Bowl and the Olympics start, 52 days, these clocks, okay? It's where the month, week, day, and then you have Trump with the wolf. Dude's name, his last name is Wolf. And then you have the Bad Bunny. And then the red cloak cake with the wolf. And the AI, the smart meter, it's going to come and rebuild the hive and make them smart in another way, kind of thing, as all these things have been done. And then like your heavy metals are interacting with the Wi-Fi in different ways, and I'm going to do another video on that, but that's taking y'all down, and there's different types of ones that bring you up as far as the illumination, and that's part of getting the light in your brain, and the crowning that we saw with that partial highlight, and then you get the full highlight and the full head, and that's where we're told these things as far as in Revelation, and the elect coming with a light on their head, and all those other things that the church teaches that, well, it's going to be a dude with a glowing head and all this other shit or whatever thing. And it actually is a glowing head, because when you're at nighttime, your face is fucking lit up. Okay? So it's either taking you up or down. And these things are either upsetting you or not upsetting you.